Hello, everyone. This is Visakan, and I'm going to quickly go over my Business Central's new exciting agent feature. So this is a new feature in the one of the latest BC updates, which was BC 27.4, and it provided the ability to build agents within BC. The purpose of this was to allow users to experiment with the AI capabilities built into BC through Microsoft's Copilot ecosystem. And this feature allows us to build low code and instruction based agents within the BC UI. It is a preview feature, hence, it's only enabled in sandbox environments. So, how do you create an agent? I'm going to quickly go to BC to show you how it's done. So, once you're in your BC page, you would, if the agent ability is enabled in the environment, then you would see an agent icon right here. You would go here, click create an agent, and then you're provided to either set it up from scratch or use a template. For most cases, you would build it from scratch. A template provides you with like predefined instructions that you can maybe tweak, but most likely you will create it from scratch. And then you would go to the setup page where you are asked the name, display name, initials, description, whatever. Just give it with whatever name you like and a description of what it does. The initials are what the agent icon is going to look like. And this is the more important stuff. So this is the profile you set up for the agent. The agent is essentially a profile within BC. So you could have people like business managers, service managers, project managers, etc. And this agent will mimic their roles. And by taking that role, it can view like UI elements and pages that that role can, is able to see. The next thing is the permission, and this gives access to the agent for stuff that it can do. For example, read access or write access or admin access, which can do almost everything, etc. So based on what you want your agent to do, you have to configure the access accordingly. And finally, you would have to edit instructions. This basically is the set of text you provide to the agent that describes what it's going to do, what steps it should take. So be comprehensive with how you describe this, and you should be good to go on defining the agent. Once you've defined all of that, you just hit update and your agent would be built. I've already built a few agents, but once your agent is built, it would pop up like one of these icons here. Okay, going back, I'm going to show you some sample agents that I built. The first one is the sales order agent. And this looks into the sales order list page. It's a read-only agent, and essentially it provides an analysis of sales order items. It is based on you providing the customer you want and the time period that you want it for. It aggregates the results and produces like clear insight into the data. I'm going to show you how that looks in the agent. So we have our sales order agent here, and let me go into the agent. And this is the instructions that I defined for it. Essentially, it takes in the sales order page, it goes and finds the customer that the user inputs and also the timeline. It sets the timeline, and then it gets all of the sales orders individually and combines them together to produce like a combined output. So as you can see, the instructions are quite comprehensive, but it's necessary to get an accurate response. You can also build tasks. So I'm going to show you some of the task templates. This is essentially how we run the agent. We would provide an input message and it would run based on that. For example, over here, I asked the agent to aggregate the sales or items for this customer in particular, the School of Fine Art between January and April of 2026. And for the second one, I have asked it to do the same, but for that Atom Corporation. And instead of a month time period, we are using a single month. So the start and end of June only. So the agent is able to analyze all the info that you give it and accurately provide the responses. I'm going to show you the output for one. So for the first task, it asked you, as you can see, this is the first step. And you've asked it, it extracts the School of Fine Art and all of the amounts. and it goes you can go and see the message, output message of the agent. And this is the outputs from January to the April of 2026. It takes all of the sales orders, combines them together, and produces, a combined analysis. It also gives you the top three amounts and also like a short note on what the top item was. So if you go to the sales order page, you can verify this. So it's a conference table and software license, right? So let's go into that. And the School of Fine Art. So this is the first one within that date range. And we can see the conference table. So we can also verify the values, which was like 7.7K, something like that. 7.7K. Yeah, it's matching. So I've already verified the outputs and it's accurate to what's already populated in the pages. Another task that I'm going to show you I ran was for a different company, but now this was only for 1 month, right? But we specified the start and the end of the month. And the agent is intelligently be identified that it's June 1st to the 30th of June, and it does the same processing. It says that 4 orders were scanned, and these were the items that were purchased, all aggregated together, and all of the amount values all added up. So the agent is quite good with read-only tasks. It can also handle error cases. For example, over here, I said request to aggregate sales orders for all companies in 2026. In the instructions, we define it to only select one company at a time or the company that the user provides. And as you can see, it says, thank you for your request, but I can only do it for a specific customer at a time. So it says that and it says, I can't do it. Please specify a customer. So it's quite intelligent in that way. So if you're defining good instructions, then it'll work within the boundaries of those instructions. Now I'm going to show a more complex agent. This is the item replenishment agent. And this takes a look at 2 pages, the item list page and the requisition worksheet. And it does read and write. So it does read on this page and write on that page. And this essentially is built to prevent inventory stockouts. So in case an item is stocked out or it is low, the agent would identify it and it would create lines in the replenishment as a replenishment solution. Sorry. Going back to DC, let me show you that agent. So we can come back to the main page and we have the replenishment agent. And again, you have to define really good instructions and it would work accordingly. So I'm going to show you a sample test case that I ran, and I asked it for the inventory risk for the next 14 days and using a specific worksheet. And this is the output that it provided to me. It says it went to the item page, which I can show you. So we have the following, this is the item page, and we have a bunch of stuff, right? And stuff that are in negative means that it's stocked out. So it's like, it needs to be replenished. So the agent found all of those items and it gave us a suggestion of replenishments. And it says, I found the following things, and these are the top risky items that I identified. And it asked me if I should create a requisition worksheet, and I hit yes. So going to the requisition worksheet, and we can see that the items that are low in stock have been added to this as replenishment lines, and along with their unit costs and the item type, the vendor number they're related to, how many pieces they're down by. So all of that is provided along with the description. And let's verify one item. So 1896, right? Let's go to the item page. It says that it's 50 pieces. So 1896 is the first one. And yeah, it's down by 50 pieces. And I have verified all of the unit prices and it's accurate. So this is showing the right capabilities of the agent. So not only can it do your analysis, it can also write to BC pages if you configure it right. Can. But yeah, that's it for me. Exciting new features.